My name is Heather Sams, and I have owned a Spoiled Rotten Photography franchise for the past 10 years, and I have been a portrait photographer for 25. I live near Colorado Springs, Colorado. I live just outside of Colorado Springs. My biggest concerns when I looked into this franchise opportunity was the trusting processes. I'd never been in a system before, so trusting that the systems and the processes actually worked. I've learned that though the processes that Spoiled Rotten Photography put into place actually do work, and you can mold and shape them a little bit to your personality and style of doing business, but foundationally to have those processes and systems ultimately was one of the biggest factors in deciding to move forward with purchasing the franchise that I did, because I was operating as a photography business owner before I met Spoiled Rotten, and I didn't have processes and systems. And I'd been doing it long enough to realize that was part of my biggest problem in not succeeding. So it was the piece that was missing. I needed processes and systems and the consistency of them, and Spoiled Rotten offered that. Support that I received from Spoiled Rotten Photography set me up to be consistent with the processes and systems that they trained on, and gave confidence in just the consistency of it. So artists tend to be, all over the place in their moods and feelings and that kind of thing. So to have processes, it's true. So to have processes and systems that were tried and true and can be proven, gave a lot of confidence and security as far as being able to do a business model that a lot of photographers and artists aren't used to having. They're not used to business models. They're used to feelings and the arts and what, what's fun to create and that kind of thing. But to have those, the training behind those processes and systems, and not only the training, but the supports. The franchise, the corporate offices offered that they would be supporting a phone call away, a text or an email, or to be able to answer questions about, in the moment or getting ready for an event. Their support behind those processes and systems is what I was looking for. I'm of an age where I used to be able to call a 1-800 number and get help for anything. So having the ability to have a corporate office that was willing to be very hands-on, I really looked forward to, and they proved it over and over and over again. For the first few years especially, I was pretty needy as far as needing that emotional support, as far as the system support, and hey, you can do this, and all the encouragement. And it was all there whenever I needed it. And I very much appreciated that. I tell a photographer that's looking to bring their art-based business, their photography business to another level and still feel authentic in their own art, I would say that the Spoiled Rotten Photography system allows them to still be them. They can still be the artists that they know and that they love and be able to create, but they can create a product and a system that's proven, that the brand allows a beauty and an art that elements to a product that many photographers never get to. It's repetitive. It's proven that the retention of a customer base. Many custom photographers rely on word of mouth and hope that their art and their experience and their skill will just spread by word of mouth. Well, that's kind of a dream that's hard to move forward with. But with a Spoiled Rotten Photography system, you can create long relationships with a product need. So preschools have new kids, they have new babies that go through their school for 4 or 5 years, and they always have a new set of babies that start over again. So to be able to create a product in another business, that business allows you to come in as the artist, that they trust you, that you can create beautiful imagery in a system that is safe to still be you, as long as you adhere to what the brand requires. You can still be the artist that you want to be, yet make a living in a reliable way. Photographers really struggle to create a repetitive income base, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
They do build a name in a region, but it's a photography. Everybody's a photographer. Everybody with a cell phone is a photographer. So, and we all have, as humans, we all have a little bit in us. We all do, but photographers have a lot more creativity in us and want to, they have this undying need to be able to live a lifestyle with consistent income through a dream of creating our art. Well, when you're a custom photographer, you have this constant fear of your client base drying up, not getting enough competitive edge out there in front of all the other creatives that are out there. So when you're a spoiled rotten photographer and you get to reliably go back to the preschools that you've created relationships with, producing work that they are in love with in a process that makes it super easy for them, you all of a sudden get to create a repetitive income base, creating art that you love, as well as creating art that isn't necessarily in a preschool. You can still do family portraits. You can still do headshots and all these different types of portraits, photographs that custom photographers love to do. But now you have this consistent base of income that you can turn around and rely on. And a lot of photographers never get to that. So what I would tell that photographer that's struggling to try and create their own presence in a market, that you can shape a volume-based portrait photography business alongside a custom business that fits your lifestyle and your creative want, and still be you as the artist.